Alien students left speechless when a Deathworlder tackles a live drill in class. The Galactic Academy of Defensive Sciences was the most prestigious training center in the Alliance. Its students came from 100 worlds, scaled, feathered, crystalline, gaseous, and they all shared one quiet fear: the new arrival from the Deathworld called Earth. Her name was Cadet Riley Cho. She was small by galactic standards, but her eyes were sharp, her posture relaxed, and her grin came far too easily for someone surrounded by apex predators in uniform. The lesson. Instructor Vrak, a saurian built like a tank, stomped into the training hall. Today we conduct a live containment simulation. Drones will simulate an unexpected combat breach. Remember, teamwork prevents fatalities. A wave of nervous chatter rippled through the students. Riley raised a hand. Sir, what's the success metric? Survive or neutralize? Vrak's nostrils flared. Containment. We are defenders, not destroyers. She shrugged. Noted. The aliens traded uneasy glances. The breach. When the alarm klaxons blared, the room lights turned crimson. Metal panels hissed open, and 6 drones floated out, spherical, armed, and humming with power. The first pulse blast crackled through the air, knocking a crystalline foal cadet off balance. The rest dove for cover. Riley didn't move. She studied the drones, tracking their targeting rhythm. One of the Avricks, a feathered student trembling behind a barrier, chirped, "Human, hide. They have weapons." "Yeah," Riley said, cracking her neck, "so do I." Contact. The nearest drone swung its emitter toward her. Riley ran at it. The shock pulse hit her shoulder mid-sprint, but she barely flinched. She slid under the drone, grabbed a maintenance rod from the floor, and smashed upward. The impact sent it crashing into a wall in a shower of sparks. Silence. Even Instructor Vrak froze. Then Riley dusted her hands off and said, "One down." The fight. The drones regrouped instantly, sensors flashing. 3 moved on her. The rest targeted the others. "Cadet Cho." Vrak bellowed. "Fall back. You'll be incapacitated." "Can't," she said, ducking another blast. "They're flanking you." She kicked a fallen barrier toward the foal cadet. "Use that as cover." The foal hesitated, then obeyed. Others followed suit. Within seconds, the chaos turned coordinated alien cadets shouting positions, covering each other, learning her rhythm. Riley leapt, rolled, and wrenched the emitter arm off a second drone. The metal burned her palms, but she didn't stop. She jammed the loose part into another drone's optic sensor, frying it. The final drone tried to flee. She grabbed it by a trailing cable and slammed it to the floor. Sparks. Silence. The lights turned white again. Aftermath. Smoke drifted across the room. Dozens of eyes stared at her, round, slit, compound, all wide with disbelief. Instructor Vrak's tail lashed once. "Explain yourself." Riley blinked. We won. You attacked training equipment. You were unarmed." "Correction," she said, "I was resourceful." A ripple of laughter, nervous, astonished, passed through the class. Vrak's frills twitched. "Humans are inefficient." "Maybe," she said, grinning, "but we get results." Ripples. By the next morning, the security feed of the incident had gone viral across the academy. The clip, labeled Deathworlder Response Pattern, Type Cho, spread through the student networks. Aliens watched in fascination as the fragile biped tackled an armed drone head-on. Many replayed it frame by frame, muttering about prey aggression and combat lunacy. Some called it courage. Others called it proof humans shouldn't be trusted near machinery. The talk. Vrak summoned Riley to his office. The chamber smelled faintly of ozone and disapproval. "Cadet Cho," he rumbled, "your instincts are alarming." "Thank you, sir." That was not praise. Your recklessness endangered the unit. She folded her arms. No one was hurt. Except the drones. He leaned closer. You charged a shock-armed drone barehanded. Yeah, well, she said, where I'm from, if something attacks you, you hit it harder until it stops. Vrak stared for a long, unreadable moment, then exhaled through his nostrils. Deathworld logic. Survival logic, she corrected. A real emergency. 2 weeks later, the Academy got an unscheduled test. A rogue maintenance bot malfunctioned in the armory deck armed, uncontrolled, and broadcasting an alert in 6 languages. Containment breach. The instructors ordered lockdown. Riley ignored it. By the time the safety doors sealed, she was already sprinting down the corridor. She slid under a half-closed blast door, spotted the rogue drone sparking wildly, and dove for the nearest toolbox. The machine fired. A plasma bolt singed her sleeve. She rolled behind a crate, grabbed an insulated rod, and vaulted forward. The impact knocked her flat, but the rod jammed perfectly into the emitter housing, shorting it out. The drone collapsed in a smoking heap. Security teams arrived seconds later to find her sitting on it, catching her breath. She looked up and grinned. So, still a simulation? Debrief. This time, Vrak didn't yell. He just stared at her for a long moment, then said quietly, "You understand you could have been killed." "Yes, sir. But so could everyone else." He nodded slowly. "Your actions prevented multiple injuries." However, he hesitated, a rare pause for a saurian. "Your behavior cannot be replicated safely by other species." "Probably not," she said. "We've had a lot of practice on Earth." Curriculum update. 2 days later, a memo appeared in the Academy's learning system. Addendum 9A, Human Crisis Reflex Studies. Observation: humans respond to imminent danger with direct kinetic engagement rather than retreat. While high risk, this behavior can yield rapid neutralization of threats. Instructional note: observe, do not imitate. Riley laughed so hard when she read it she almost dropped her datapad. Graduation. Months passed. Her classmates, who once avoided sitting near her, now sought her input during drills. The Avrix learned to move faster, the Foal learned to take hits without cracking. When graduation day came, Instructor Vrak's speech was short. "Courage," he said, "is often mistaken for madness. The human showed us it may be both." The crowd erupted in applause. Riley just gave a mock salute. "Told you teamwork and survival weren't the same thing." Years later, the story became legend. The footage of the Deathworlder tackle was shown in cadet orientation across the Alliance. Some watched and laughed. Others took notes. And every time a human joined a new unit, someone inevitably whispered, "Don't startle them. They might charge the simulation." Epilogue. Years later, Commander Cho stood on the observation deck, watching a new class run the same drone exercise. When the breach alarm sounded, one of the alien cadets hesitated for half a second, then sprinted forward, slamming a drone into the wall with a triumphant roar. The others followed. Riley smiled. "They learn fast," she murmured. Beside her, Instructor Vrak chuckled. "Your species always does." And for the first time, the Academy truly understood the phrase written on the human recruitment posters. Fear is optional. Action is instinct.